1200. Getting the headset on. We are situated in the Coronado 152 with the NHAdrian Mod version 4. Listening to some ATIS. We definitely got some strong winds that we're going to be contending with this afternoon.
Altimeter 2998. Arriving runway 29. Departing runway 29. Advise on initial contact you have kilo.
So we got information kilo, runway 29. Set the squawk to standby. It's a little touchy right there. I need my chart. Nope. Not what I wanted to do.
Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 5,000 view, 11,000 scattered. Temperature 33.
Put the seat down.
Altimeter
Give me a little bit of elbow room here. I'm going to zoom in.
Advise on initial contact you have kilo.
We're parked over somewhere in that middle area by D, I believe. And now we're going to get the ground. 121.6.
Hartford Brainerd.
Brainerd ground 12 Bravo, ready to taxi.
12 Bravo to taxi to runway 20, hold short runway 20, Cessna 12 Bravo. Wind 230 at 7.
Well, I just got a weird noise. I'm going to check that out.
Sky conditions 5,000 view, 11,000 scattered. Temperature 33, dew point 9. Altimeter 2998. Arriving runway 29. Departing runway 29.
I'll take it.
On initial contact you have kilo.
Even though it says departing and arriving runway 29, Pilot2ATC for some reason wants me to go 20. I'm going to check one thing on the Pilot2ATC.
Hartford Brainerd information kilo. 1100 Zulu weather. Wind 230 at 7 gust 15. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 5,000 view. 11,000.
Just checking out the weather configuration. I might not be on sim weather.
Altimeter 2998.
Yeah, that's why.
Arriving runway 29.
Alright.
Departing runway 29.
I'm going to give this thing a second to update here.
Initial contact you have kilo.
That could be why. Let's see if we get a different weather.
Hartford Brainerd information kilo. 1100 Zulu weather. Wind 230 at 7 gust 15. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 5,000 view. 11,000 scattered. Temperature 33. Dew point 9. Altimeter 2998.
Alright, 121.6. Brainerd ground, November 212 Bravo, ready to taxi.
November 212 Bravo, taxi to runway 20, hold short runway 20. Taxi to runway 20, hold short runway 20, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Just wanted to make sure my flight plan was filed. So we're going to taxi over to 20. Get the light on here. Get the whiskey compass lined up with this one. There we go. Yeah, you can feel that wind. Ooh. checking the chat. I apologize if I don't hear you chime in. There's I don't get the alerts in the headset. Not exactly sure why. Gonna ask for a left-hand turnout. Cessna 12 Bravo holding short runway 20.
Cessna 12 Bravo, contact tower on 119.6. Tower on 119.6, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Cessna 12 Bravo ready for departure 20.
Cessna 12 Bravo, winds are 220 at 7 knots, altimeter 299 cleared for takeoff, runway 20. Cleared for takeoff, runway 20, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Got this guy, looks like he needs a taxi, or a tow truck. Yeah, what kind of parking job is that? Whoa, there's some wind. It's coming from 220, so slightly off the right. Probably be a little bit more lined up here. Flight should take about a half an hour. Do one of my favorite, and rotate a little bit late that time. Going to Groton, New London. I've done this one a few times on stream. Mostly I do this one, it's a nice delta to delta Pilot2ATC demonstration. Not only does it keep me local, I like the weather today here in New England. Breezy, a little bit of clouds. I think it's pretty good, pretty accurate. I just updated to version 11.26 R2. So I don't think we need to ask for a left turnout because I'm pretty sure we can go out almost any direction straight out. So I'm, up until about a 45 degrees off the runway. So we're going to bring this up to 3,500. Got a couple guys coming in here. A little bit higher, we'll get out of we'll start setting for cruise. There goes the guy. I don't know, flight following too close. It's alright. It's better than flying alone, that's for sure. So then what the plan is to get ATIS en route to Kilo Golf Oscar November, and then call for our runway, our inbound. A little more airspeed here. Bouncing all around. Pretty busy day out here in World Traffic 3 land. Yeah, I didn't put that in the title of the stream, but yeah, we got World Traffic 3 cranked up. Pilot2ATC, X-Plane 11. We are in the Carinata 152 with the NHAdrian Mod version 4. And then actually once we start getting close to our cruise, we'll pull out the checklist. Probably switch over to the map. back to the home page. Charts. Close that one, and I want this one. Zoom in. Zoom in. I think part of what I would suggest for new users and newish people to air traffic control like myself is I practice at kind of one or two airports. My theory is, or my thought is, you're going to have a home base airport. That one you should know really well. So in the Hartford area, I know the airports pretty well. So it makes it easier taxiing around on the ground. And then I practice that my arrival airport, so I kind of have a pretty good idea where I'm going. At least I've been there a few times, kind of know the layout, know what side of the airport that I'm on approach. So when I enter in my downwind, I can get myself. Generally, I feel like I'm getting set up pretty well. Approaching 3,000. Using Ortho 4 XP. This should be, I believe, zoom level 17 in this area. I made some zoom level 18 for the Oshkosh strip. Boy, that looks really nice. Not saying this looks bad, because this looks really nice. But for some reason that, I don't know if it's the way the sun... The way the sun was reflecting and lack of clouds, but that set of scenery that I downloaded for Oshkosh looks really good. Scenery or frequency change approved. 1, 2, Bravo. So I've got 27 minutes en route. We're going to trim level off, and I will probably go into autopilot and use the heading mode. So the other cool thing about this, I don't know if anybody's new in the chat or if anybody's new watching this on YouTube. Let me level off first, and then I'll show you one of the cool things about this aircraft. So one of the cool things about this aircraft, boom, right there, checklist. Look how beautiful this is. Cruise checklist. Engine instruments. Good. Amps are good. Excellent. So I'll give the instruments a check. 2300 to 2400, check. Mixture, rich, below 3000, lean, above. So we're going to lean out just a little bit. Peaked, and then it went down, so about there. Elevator trim, now we're going to adjust. So we have, oh, there's some world traffic guys down there. Oops, got a little too much forward pressure there. And now we're just going to trim nose down. There we go. Pretty close. They're going to turn on the autopilot. We're going to go in heading mode, and we are going to altitude hold. Cruise checklist complete. Turn off the landing light right there. Oops. Good, so now we're cruising, we got the heading mode on. Now I'm going to turn on course a little bit more. Moves this way, move this one up. Oops, move this one back down. And we'll adjust it with the heading mode. I'll start there, 160. A little bit of haze, a little bit of jitters in the headset, but not too bad. And the next thing we're going to need is the landing checklist, so we're going to put that back. I'm going to check and check a couple things in the chat. I just want to turn on course just a tiny bit more. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be better. All right, hang on 1 second. We got 16 minutes. I didn't turn Windows Defender off, so that could be a little bit of, might be able to pick up a few frames. I'm going to do that once I get Ada dialed in here. So we're probably going to get 1.5 coming down here, maybe 2.3. We'll see what Pilot2ATC says. Our approach, we're coming from this direction. 270 at 16. That's a pretty heavy duty wind. Information kilo. So now we'll dial in the... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Got switching back and forth between different components messes stuff up. 125.6. So, going to go back to talking about the surprise. You see these up here? There's one there. There's one out there on the wing. There's one on the tail. There's a mount right here. Boom. GoPros. And if you're in 2D, you can actually touch the GoPros and it will switch your view, which is really, really super cool. But in 3D, I haven't figured out how to make those work as GoPros. Not that I need to make them work as GoPros for this. But it'll be just kind of fun to experiment with. Alright. So that did change. Okay, that was right. So we'll call 10, 12 miles out. As long as I don't turn my head too fast, it doesn't get too jittery. Those of you watching the channel for the first time, I'm streaming on a 6700K processor overclocked to 4.4. I'm running a 1080 card. I have 32 gigs of RAM. So it's holding up pretty well. The radio chatter you heard is it's part of Pilot2ATC. Though I'm pretty sure you could just plug yourself into liveatc.net and play it in your ears if you wanted to. But I download particular days and then load that into the sim. It's a little outdated. I need to update and change it. I probably haven't changed it in about a month. I'm kind of knowing exactly what they're going to say, which is not as realistic for me. Sounds probably fine for you guys. But yeah, it's time for me to update some of that. And I think the it's a little hard to read in this. But I have the Pilot2ATC scripts, which sometimes helps. If you mess up the grammars a little bit, sometimes it gets a little hung up. But no worries, I'm just going to double check what I'm going to say. So I'm going to say 212 Bravo inbound at 3,500 for VFR pattern entry. And once I do that, I'll probably shut off the autopilot and get myself set up for the landing. Yeah, it's drawing clouds. I'm using NOAA, the NOAA plugin. So, you know, pretty much taxing the processor. You know, really trying to push the graphics card. I can probably get the landing checklist. Seatbelts, check. Landing light. Check. Fuel selected to both. Mixture is going to go to full. Rich carb heat is coming on. And then we will do flaps, airspeed as needed. Put that back. You know, I do have the Just Flight 152, but this one with the GPS just makes it a little bit more, makes it more fun to fly. The flight dynamics in this are fantastic. This is probably some of the best $24 investment in an aircraft that you can have in X-Plane. November 212 Bravo at 3,500 inbound for VFR pattern entry. See, this is where it acted a little bit wonky. I'm going to try it again within 10 miles. I think it's got like a hardcore rule of 10 miles of distance. And I'm on the right frequency, so it's... Alright, now I am below 10 miles. November 212 Bravo inbound for VFR pattern entry. I'm at 3,500. It's still saying 20. I'm going to turn that off. $125.6. $125.6. I'm going to try it with the Say It feature. So you can go into the Say It feature. I don't have it up on screen. Alright, this is better. Now it has, at least has it inbound for runway 23. Cloud. So I'm going to do the Teardrop Entry. I'm going to overfly the field, go to that spot of water between the runway and the beach over there. I don't know if you guys can see that off the nose. Kind of going to go this direction and do kind of a loop and come back in for 2-3. We got some traffic down there. Alright, keep looking out for traffic. I think that's traffic. So that's 2-3 over out the left window. So probably the better move might be to try to do my teardrop a little further out rather than cutting it as close to the beach, because if World Traffic 3 is landing there, well, World Traffic 3 is landing on that runway too. So both of them must be the actives. Looks like we got some guys parked in there. That guy's just taking off willy-nilly. Alright. Just about at the traffic pattern altitude. So one of the things that has been solidified is do not make your cold call to the your arrival airport before 10 miles. Not seeing anybody in our pattern. One, two, Bravo downwind for runway 23. It said 23 a little while ago. There is no 20 at Groton, New London. A beam of the numbers. We'll be on short final here. I'm going to pause this thing for a second. If I can find the P key. Hang on. VFR pattern entry, runway 23. 23 it is. Got the first notch of flaps set, carb heat, landing lights on. Mixture full rich, fuel selector is on. Hold that there. 60 to 65 knots is pretty good. 65, 70, I think is what the checklist has. $55 to $65 with flaps. Alright, right there. We can turn final now. Or we can turn our base leg base to final. One, two, Bravo, turning final, runway 23. One, two, Bravo, turning final, runway 23. One, two, Bravo, inbound for full stop landing. Well, at least we got clearance to land 2-0, even though definitely need some flaps here. Kind of letting the speed get away from me, and I'm a bit high. Alright, it's looking better. Alright, there we go. Back on the glide slope. 65. 2 notches of flaps. Confirmed. Confirmed. Going a little slow. There we go. And coming nice and smoothly over the piano keys here. And then we're going to remove the throttle here. And then we're going to fix our gaze down towards the end of the runway. A little, what? That's pretty fun. Oh, I get a ticket. Pilot2ATC is now going to start to punish. That would be awesome. It's like air show day here. Looks like this is a Delta turnoff. I'm going to have to check because I'm pretty sure there is no 2-0. Could be totally my bad of not believing Pilot2ATC. But I think you wouldn't have a 2-3 and a 2-0. It didn't, hang on. 1-2 Bravo, clear runway 23. 2 tree. 3, 1. All right, 3, 3, 5, 1, 5, 2 tree. I'm right. It's ground. Let me finish this up correctly. 1, 2, Bravo, clear of active runway. So Pilot2ATC may have quit on that. One, 2, Bravo, request taxi to general aviation ramp.
Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Charlie. Cessna 12 Bravo.
Alright, it's over this way. All right, not the worst Pilot2ATC. I definitely think that's a bug because it did say 2-3 earlier when I was within 10 miles. Time to email the developer on that, probably. See what he says, see if it's my mistake or not. Just gonna say, hey, thanks for stopping in and watching Squawking 1200. I fly general aviation aircraft. I stream when I can. Some weeks it's more, some weeks it's less. It depends on how busy the calendar is. But I do appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed the flight. I'm gonna throw this up to YouTube, so you guys can leave some comment, feedback, whatever. Be kind. I'm not a real world pilot. If there's something that you'd like me to see in general aviation, let me know. Thanks. Disable headset. Streamlabs OBS. End stream.